The Houston Texans are not hiding in 2025. They are kicking the door down. A year ago, this team was fighting for respect. Now the expectation is wins, banners, and playoff noise. CJ Stroud is entering his third year and has already proven he belongs among the league's best young quarterbacks. Nico Collins has blossomed into a star, Tank Dell is returning as a game breaker, and the front office spent the offseason stacking talent across the roster. From the outside, it looks like Houston is walking into the season with everything in place, but the truth is more complicated. What nobody expected is how quickly the identity of this team has changed. A new offensive coordinator in Nick Caley has reshaped the scheme into something sharper, faster, and more physical. The offensive line under Cole Popovich has been rebuilt into a unit that finally looks ready to protect a quarterback and dominate in the run game. And on defense, D'Amico Ryans has a rotation so deep that camp battles turned into headline stories. The buzz is real, but here is the twist. Just as Houston is ready to announce themselves as contenders, one of their most important offensive weapons will not be in uniform when the season begins. That absence forces the Texans into a gamble right away. The offense that was supposed to lean on its veteran star must now find another way to start fast. And the question hanging over everything is simple. Who steps up to carry the load until that star returns? That's where the backfield rotation comes into focus. And the surprise name rising up the depth chart may not be who you think. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Texans and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 350 likes on this video. The Houston Texans built an offense to hit fast. Then the first crack showed up where nobody wanted it. Joe Mixon will not suit up to start the year, and that changes the first month in a very real way. The label on his status sounds simple, yet it carries weight. Non-football injury means at least 4 games away, and that means the plan you drew up in the spring is not the plan you ride in September. Here is the twist. This does not have to stall the offense. It can sharpen it. Nick Caley can lean into matchups, tempo, and smart situational calls, while the backs share the load by role instead of one player carrying the room. That is how you protect a young season. You ask the line to finish blocks, you keep the throws on schedule, and you let the backs win in the situations that fit their strengths. If that sounds like pressure, it is, but it is also a chance to show how real this system is. What nobody is saying out loud is the part that matters most. A committee only works if someone sets the tone. One rookie has been first in and last out, trusted on third down, and fearless through contact. If Houston wants to open strong without Mixon, the rotation needs a lead voice. And the name that keeps coming up inside the building is Woody Marks. The Houston Texans just found their tone in a rookie, and his name is Woody Marks. Coaches trust him in real moments because he shows up in the hard parts of the job, the boring parts that win downs. His protection holds up with a pass block mark near 65.7, and his balance shows with 3.69 yards after contact. In the small sample that matters, 59 of 63 rushing yards came after contact, which tells you he does not need perfect space to move the chains. The room around him fits a clear plan. Nick Chubb can set the rhythm on early downs with veteran patience. Dameon Pierce brings fresh burst when the defense softens. Dare Ogunbowale helps on passing downs and on special teams. Fullback Jakob Johnson turns that plan into downhill power. In August, the calls lean to gap concepts, about 44 gap runs to 27 zone, which suits this group and keeps the identity simple and physical. Houston will not ask one back to be a hero. The aim is steady gains, clean assignments, and a finish that keeps the clock on their side. That only works if the quarterback sets the pace at the line and turns checks into first downs. So the next question is bigger than any carry. What does a defining year for CJ Stroud look like when he must steer this plan from snap one without his star runner to start the season? The bar is high, and CJ Stroud knows it. Talk around Houston circles is simple. Hit 30 touchdowns, clear 4,000 yards, and make winning drives feel routine. But the real leap is not box score shine. It is command. It is owning checks, changing pace before the snap, and turning a defense that looks confident into a defense that looks late. When your quarterback controls the rhythm, the entire stadium can feel it. Stroud has lived the hard parts already. Last season brought chaos in pockets that arrived too fast and too often, with about 80 unblocked pressures testing his poise and mechanics. He kept getting up, kept firing, and still found ways to attack. The next step is cleaner feet, quicker answers, and a faster huddle that stresses matchups instead of reacting to them. Numbers will follow if the timing and trust are right, and the trust begins at the line of scrimmage. That is why the next piece matters. The protection in front of him turns smart checks into real gains. Cole Popovich has pushed a tougher run identity and a steadier pocket, and a young tackle has started to look like a long-term answer on the left side. There's also a veteran starter on the roster who could be premium insurance if Houston keeps him. The choices on that wall up front might decide how far this offense can go, and those choices are coming now. The Texans rebuilt their strength in the trenches, and it shows. Cole Popovich's fingerprints are everywhere, from sharper footwork to lanes that stay open longer. Preseason numbers told the story with only 3 sacks allowed across the games that mattered, a major improvement from a year ago. Houston is no longer hoping the line holds. They are expecting it to set the tone every Sunday. At left tackle, rookie Ariante Ursary stepped into the spotlight without flinching. In more than 20 pass snaps, he allowed 0 pressures, an almost unheard-of start for a young lineman protecting the blind side. On the right, Titus Howard continues to anchor, while Blake Fisher battles back from injury. The group has talent, but injuries and depth questions keep the front office alert. That is where the Cam Robinson storyline heats up. He is a proven starter, he comes at a $3.75 million tag after bonuses, and he could be Houston's best insurance policy if the young guys falter. Trade chatter exists, but letting him walk for a mid-round pick could be a mistake when the goal is to contend right now. Keeping him in-house might be the smartest move, especially when the defense across from him looks ready to create chaos every snap. The heartbeat of this team lives up front. Foley Fatukasi is back eating space and forcing traffic to slow down inside. Tommy T has stacked good days until coaches started calling him steady without even thinking about it. Sheldon Rankins adds calm power and smart hands, the kind that turns 2nd and 5 into 3rd and long before the stadium notices. The edge room brings real heat. Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter set the edge standard, while Denico Autry's return gives Houston a veteran mover who can win inside or outside. Depth makes the decisions hard, in the best way. Derek Barnett knows how to finish plays, Darrell Taylor flashes speed to the spot, Dylan Horton keeps pushing for snaps, and Solomon Byrd has surged enough to make every rep count. That rotation can tilt a game before the 4th quarter even starts. Linebacker is the glue D'Amico Ryans trusts. Aziz Al-Shire reads it fast, Henry To'o cleans lanes, Christian Harris flies to alleys, and EJ Speed closes space on 3rd down. Special teams and sub-packages will decide the last chairs with Jake Hansen, Nick Neiman, and Jamal Hill all making real cases. When the front 7 squeezes timing, the back end only needs to be on time and in phase, which brings us to the next question that will shape September. Who locks down CB4 and how does the safety mix settle when the lights come on? The Houston Texans secondary is shaping up to match the strength of the front 7, led by CJ Gardner, Johnson's edge, Jalen Pitre's instincts, and Kalen Bullock's range, with depth supported by MJ Stewart, Miles Bryant, and rookie Jalen Reed's late push. At corner, Tremon Smith delivered reliable tape by allowing only 3 catches for 25 yards on 5 targets, while D'Angelo Ross struggled with a 71% completion rate, 96 yards allowed, and 19.2 yards per catch, leaving the CB4 spot in question. The staff must decide whether to trust Smith and the current safety mix or seek a veteran addition, knowing that cut rules and practice squad protections will play a key role in keeping young talent close and shaping the roster for September. Now it is your call, Battle Red Nation. Do you keep Cam Robinson as premium insurance or move him only for a strong day 2 pick? Should the early carries tilt to Woody Marks while Dameon Pierce and Nick Chubb find their best lanes? And which 4 names would you protect first each week on the practice squad? Drop your record prediction for the first 4 games, tell me if CJ's an MVP dark horse in your book, and hit subscribe so you do not miss the full film review of how this committee looks in real time. Your takes shape the next breakdown.